Diane. I wanted to show you how you can place feedback on annotations on your students' Mahara portfolio pages. As you know, I am using this system called SmartEvidence in Mahara, and I think it might be very useful for students and for us. Now, you do not have to do this, but if you want to do this on a few students' portfolios, just to see how it works, I encourage you to do so. I went ahead and just went to your Mahara group for this semester, and I was just looking at collections shared with the group, and so I selected Meg's. And of course, she's obviously a very good student, and I'm really impressed with the work that your students are producing, by the way. It's pretty impressive, but don't forget, I'm teaching undergraduates this semester, so maybe that's why I'm super impressed. But as you can see, for instance, this one is not due yet, has not been submitted. This is an open circle. And then these circles have check marks, and these mean that they have been assessed according to the standard. And if you hold your cursor over here, it'll even tell you a little bit more about that particular ISTE or AECT indicator. I use ISTE for undergraduates and AECT, so I'm always getting them mixed up. So anyhow, let me just we'll go ahead and look at this page here, this EdTech research page. And I was really impressed with Meg's quality of writing and how comprehensive everything was, and how she included a really good description, which will really help her down the road when she's completing her final portfolio in the program. So if anybody ever says, "Oh, why do I have to write so much?" say, you may not thank me now, but you will thank me later. And the same thing with the annotation of the rationale for why the artifact meets this particular indicator. And these are called annotation blocks, but they link to the indicators, to the SmartEvidence map. So you can see that I've already given her feedback and I've rated her as proficient. Now you can also click this and do feedback. Here's where you can add your feedback, and only staff members, students can't do this to each other. Students can place feedback, but they don't have this assessment drop-down box here. So you as an instructor or as a staff member on the site should have this ability, but let me know if you don't, because that's something I'll probably need to work on. But anyhow, of course, I rated her as proficient, and then I said place feedback, and I made it public. Obviously, if you felt the student needed if you wanted to rate the student, let's see what the worst one is, incomplete, then, you might want to make that not public, and then you click place feedback. So once I did that, okay, sorry, I clicked something. Once you do that, let me go back to her AECT standards page, which is the SmartEvidence page. Once I do that, then here it has a check mark showing that yes, this has been rated. And if I hold it over here, she'll see that it's been rated proficient. And she can also read my feedback. So I did it with all of hers because I felt she really did an excellent job on all of her artifacts and wanted to give her some feedback and also rate her. Now, you do not have to do this, but if you want to go to, for instance, your group, let me go back here again, find your group here, 501 Spring, here we go. If you wanted to go to the people who obviously are using Mahara, which is everyone in 501, 513 is a little bit different story, you can go through each of their portfolios and rate a few of them. You don't have to rate all of them. Maybe just select a few and provide feedback and rate them just to see how it works. So I wanted to show you this. If you were wondering, why did Barbara do this weird SmartEvidence, this first page on the learning log? Well, there's a method to my madness. You can see these have not been rated. It says ready for assessment. So you just click the page, look it over. Sometimes what I do is when I'm grading it in Moodle, and of course I look at it in Mahara, I will write comments at the bottom of their Mahara page, which they'll always have. And then copy and paste it to the feedback in Moodle. So at least they will always have that feedback in Mahara because, as you know, with the Moodle course, it's eventually closed. So these were just a few little tips, and I wanted to slowly introduce you to this SmartEvidence in Mahara. As you know, I'm also using learning plans in Moodle. I'm trying to come up with a great way that students can track their progress. I also provided them with that spreadsheet, which I think is invaluable. If they would just add their artifacts to that, then they can filter. So they have all these tools. And then, of course, as you know, all of these pages, and I tell them about this at the end of the course because I tell them about tags, I have all these pages tagged too. So students can click the tagged pages and see all their pages that are tagged that particular AECT indicator. I hope this video helps you understand a little bit more about how and why I'm using the SmartEvidence tool in Mahara. And if you have any questions, of course, please let me know. Thanks for viewing, Diane.